And on YouTube, I go by Resilient Rich, just because it takes true resilience to stay on the narrow path that leads to eternal life, man, especially with the spiritual warfare going on. And I was watching some video regarding Revelations last night, and it just reminded me of, you know, when the Euphrates River dries up and it's dang near there, things being released, as in fallen angels being released, demons. And when they're released, their purpose, or not their purpose, part of their purpose is to kill, destroy, slaughter 1/3 of mankind. That's insane, man. That's a lot of people. And then I was doing a study yesterday, and I came across the scripture. I think it's in 1 Peter. I think it's chapter 4, verse 9. And I'm probably going to butcher it, but it says something along the lines of, don't be surprised at the fiery trial that comes upon you, as if something strange were happening to you. Basically is what it says. I guarantee the exact words aren't right. But, you know, basically talking about be prepared for strange things to happen. And with the spiritual warfare I'm personally going through, and I know a lot of other people are going through, something that is so extremely strange, something I'd never even knew was possible until, sure enough, sorry, this road's horrible right here. Until, sure enough, it happened to me, man. And these events are very strange. Strange enough to where a lot of people really get tricked into thinking they're losing their mind. And things like this are going to continue to happen to more and more people. Maybe not gang stalking exactly, or targeting, but as a true follower of Christ, we are each going to experience at one point or another the type of spiritual warfare that's either going to break us or mold us, man. And this personal experience I'm going through could very easily break someone and destroy someone, and it has broken a lot of people, destroyed a lot of people, destroyed a lot of communities. Like this morning, man, I got off work I got to where I was going to park and rest at 4 a.m. I get a knock on my door at 9 from a cop saying that the people across the street, who I've never seen anyone there, called complaining because I was blocking their driveway. And I asked the cop, I said, why couldn't they just come knock on my door? He didn't really have an answer. After that, I go to shower, and when I'm showering, I hear this humming sound, man, and I just start to feel, like I said before, like crap. And I still kind of feel like it, but I'm feeling better, but I just got over that, within the past half hour. And this was a few hours ago. And then, of course, my first load, I'm on the highway, and it goes from 50 to 70. Right when I can get up to speed to 70, what do you know? There's a cop that has a semi pulled over. And right when they're in my vision to where I can see him, the cop is walking right in the middle of the highway. I posted a short of it. The cop's walking right in the middle of the highway, and the semi pulls out and gets back on the road. And stuff like this happens all the time. That's why I know it's not just a random event. And that's why I know dispatch, everyone is involved in this. Because then after that, one of these trucks, it's always at a cattle guard as I'm entering a cattle guard, or always at the top of a hill, and I can't see him until I get to the top of the hill. You know, just doing little things like that. One of those trucks, we're coming from two opposite directions, from miles apart, The moment I turn on the road that leads to loadout, this truck's turning on the road that leads to loadout. And, you know, like I've said, dude, this is meant to drive you insane. And if you know, you know. But this warfare is serious, man. And it's only going to get worse. And it's we're called to be disciples, man, and to preach the gospel and to share our testimony with others. And if we're not doing that, if we're ashamed to do it, the word says, then if you're ashamed to, what does it say? Testify my name in front of others, I will not testify your name in front of my Father. Basically. Meaning, if we are too embarrassed and ashamed to bear our testimony in an attempt to bring others to the gospel, then the Lord isn't going to stand in for our mediator when it comes to the Father, man. And where does that get us? Not in a good place. And as we go, you know, like, I'll give you an example. Like when I read 2 Corinthians, man, or just like as I'm just finished 1 Peter. Like these books, they give me motivation, man, to keep going, because there's very similar stories that the apostles went through, and it's through their testimony that I get a lot of encouragement, man, and I get re-energized to keep going, man, and to persevere. And that's what our testimony can do for other people. That's why I'm on here, dude, because I came across other people who were not afraid to come out and talk about things like gang stalking, things about being targeted. And through seeing them, for one, I gained knowledge and knew what this was. And for two, it gave me the inspiration to come and bear my testimony about it, man. And I'm going to continue to do that, man. And you know what? I fall sometimes, like the short I posted today. Like, I'm cussing and, you know, I'm angry, and that's not things to be proud of, but at the same time, I'm not going to hide it. I've come a long ways, dude. I know that. I know myself. But I still fall, dude. And it's, like I said, it's hard to love these people. But as I was reading in 1 Peter and went on after it talked about the fiery trial that, you know, seems like something strange is happening, it talks about how we're still called to love, man. And we're still called to not wish bad on our enemies and to love our enemies, dude. And that's where I struggle. But I know as I continue to bear my testimony and continue to talk about the trial that, you know, I go through, I'm going to become refined through the process, man. I'll never be perfect. No one will. But I'm going to continue becoming better, man. I promised myself that. I've spent my whole life just living for me, man. And I want to do my best to live for the Lord. And I just wish there was more people like that. And there's going to be, man, more and more people are coming out. And I know what it's like, dude. I know what it's like to be embarrassed to bear your testimony, because it's not the cool thing to do, man. But as I was terrified to come on here at first, but as I started coming on, it became like it got to a point where I enjoyed it. Like, there's times I still have to force myself to get on, but in a way it's nice to like vent, you know, and to like outwardly talk about this, not just keep it in my head. Well, we are approaching the end of times, man, and like it's clear as day to me. Like, prophecies are just like the Bible is playing out, you know? And that being said, like, is gang stalking part of one of these tools to take out a third of mankind? Maybe, because a lot of people have been taken out from it. I'm not sure. I'm not going to say it is, but I know as the time gets closer, dude, it's going to get worse. And, you know, this fiery trial, as the word of the Lord puts it, that I'm going through is nothing compared to what it's going to be like, man. And the people that are on the wrong side of the stick during those times are going to be in immense suffering, dude, to the point to where they're going to want to find death and not be able to find it. They're going to want to die but not be able to, man. That's how bad it's going to be. And I know that. Like, I 100% believe that. I see the change, dude, every day. It's like people are different, man. A lot of people even look different, man. You can just see the demons in them, dude. See the evil in them. And I'm not saying that out of judgment. I'm saying that out of, like, truth from what I see. And a lot of other people see, man. And a trick that the enemy uses is confusion, dude. And, you know, if you've fallen away from the Lord for so long and you don't care at all to have a relationship with Him, there's a chance, a big chance, that He's going to allow delusion to come upon you. What do I mean by that? Then you'll start believing in things like witchcraft or the New Age or dark practices, thinking they're good. Like some of these gang stalkers think that what they're doing is good. He's going to put a spirit of delusion on you, so then you're really going to be lost, and you're going to be thinking you're doing the right thing up until you realize you're not. And then when you realize you're not, dude, it is going to be more misery and pain than you could ever imagine, man. And it's true, dude. I promise you it's true. And I'm sorry I'm kind of slow on this video. Like I said, I took that shower and just started feeling weird. I heard a humming in another room, which I always hear in the shower. It's weird every single time, so I don't know what they're doing. But it's like almost like a humming of like a machine. And it just kind of like made me groggy, and I feel a lot better than I did, but I'm still kind of slow, man. But I still want to get on here and talk about the things that I feel I need to talk about. Like, just this stuff can destroy you, man. Like I said, I'm not doing this for sympathy. I'm just giving you an example. I told you how my day started, right? That's every single day, man. Every day. Every day. And if I didn't have the Lord, there wouldn't be an ounce of peace in me, man. There wouldn't. I know that. I know that for a fact. I would be miserable, and I know what it's like, man, to not have the Lord. And I know what it's like to have Him. And you feel different. There's still going to be those times where, you know, He feels kind of distant. But like I've said before, those are the times that really test our faith, man. Because if He was letting us know He's around 24/7 every single day, it wouldn't take a whole lot of faith to believe in Him. And those times that, like, I'm kind of going through one, those times that we feel distant is when we really need to get in and nourish that faith, man, in whatever we feel we need to do. Whether it's read more, fast, pray more. I could get better at all those things, man, and that's what gives me the energy and the resilience to keep going, man. Like, I mean that. If it wasn't for that, for the Lord, for the knowledge He's blessed me with, dude, it's every day. It's from the moment I wake up, even while I'm sleeping, man. Like, all throughout while I'm sleeping, noise harassment, whatever they call it. There's a word that, like, that, you know, people who are being gang stalked use. I don't think it's noise harassment. It's something to do with like that, though. It's basically noise harassment. Going by with super loud cars, all hours of the night, all the time. Semis with extremely loud Jake brakes, like it never stops, man. It's constant harassment, constant, every single day, all night. And that's part of the warfare that a lot of people are dealing with, man. And a lot of people who have no idea what this is, sadly, are going to come to know exactly what it is, man. It's going to, until this is exposed or the Lord comes back, man. But I can still love. There's a lot of times I want to hate the people that are doing this to me. But I don't stay there, and I'm praying for strength on that. Like, I've seen a difference. It's just, it's hard because I'll get mad at myself, man, because like I'll pray, do my study, be good for the day, and the minute I get on the road, dude, bam, the harassment starts. And I'll slip like immediately, and then I get frustrated. I'm like, dude, I just prayed, you know how many cars I've seen with one headlight since I've made this video? With one headlight, fourth one just passed me. Things like that, dude. With their little smirks on their face. And I'll slip, you know, and I'll like cuss to myself or start talking crap about them, like in my head to myself. And those are the kind of things that I'm working on, man. And those are the kind of things that I think, like, if other people are dealing with things like that, the more we get over that, like, just the happier we're going to become, the more unbothered we're going to become. And that's where I want to get to, man. I want to get to where these people can't affect me at all. And I tell myself a lot, dude, like, at least I'm getting through it. Because I know these people wouldn't be able to handle a week of this. I know it. That's why a lot of them are doing it, as I've said a million times. And if you're one that's getting through it, dude, that's something to be proud of, man. This is a strange thing, dude, that takes serious faith and strength, man, and resilience and perseverance, dude. It's a constant fight, man. Like, you never run into anyone that, like, wants good for you or puts any positivity in your life at all. No one, ever. It's the exact opposite. So we have to rely on the Lord to give us that self-love, to give us that motivation to keep going, and to keep our hearts, I was going to say pure, but no one's heart is pure, but keep our hearts able to love, man, not turn bitter, cold, and just, you know, like a piece of charcoal, like a lot of these gang stalkers are. But I'll leave it at that. I can barely even think right now, man. I'm sorry. Like, these attacks they're getting worse, man. And you know what? I'll get through it. It's just, sometimes if you're targeted, you'll know, like, sometimes it's worse than other times. But I want to get on here during times like this, just so people can see, man. Like, it takes, like, it makes you feel foggy, dude. It's probably, I don't know if it's directed energy weapons or what. I know a lot of it is demonic, witchcraft, spiritual warfare. But I guarantee there's, whatever those weapons are called, I can't think of it right now. But I have a huge headache, man, and like I said, I can hardly think. So before I make too much of a fool of myself, I'm going to get on off of here. But I hope you guys have a good night, and maybe someone can get something from this gibberish I just spilled. But you guys have a good day.